Oh. Hello. Uh-oh. She's walking up to me. I think, didn't we meet her in the beginning?
Will you drink with me?
Of course, to beauty. No, I wouldn't say to beauty. I don't want to say to my success either. Do you want to get right to business? No, be polite. I want to be polite. Okay, we'll say to beauty.
To beauty. It sweetens our happy days and brings solace to our dark and sorrowful ones. But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
No need to apologize. I don't expect everyone I meet to immediately fall under my charms and entrust me with all their secrets.
How amusing. Usually those who don't seek affection are the very ones who receive it. Anyway, enough sweet talk. There is something important I wanted to tell you. As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
She looks at you expectantly. I don't know if we've been singed by the same fire. Sounds tempting, but I'll need to think about it.
Your caution is reasonable. Well, I'm going to visit the capital of your newborn barony anyway. I might rent a house. Find me there if you decide you're interested in my offer. So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Saluting you with the cup, the tiefling girl steps back and disappears in the shadows between the columns. Okay, so we now have another thingy, another companion. Have you seen that? Chandra Merve. Tristian. These people are not just celebrating. It seems your feat has given them new hope. Mary, probably not happy. Their wine is alright, nice and strong, but the appetizers, barely a mouthful. They call this a feast. I'd show them some real festivities if they'd let me. Can I see anyone else up there? Well, Tortuccio. Well, scum. Now did we? Maybe I've had one too many. Lindsay. Pour up to the brim so that. Oh, I must be drunk. I forgot the line. Megavan. This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it were borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of grey running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mega Van, the new ruler of Dawnsward. So that must be his bit. The frontier region known as Dawnsward on the eastern side of the Stolen Lands borders the steps of Casmaron. Dawnsward is characterized by low grassy plains circled by mountain ranges and is dotted with the ancient structures of lost civilizations. Long ago, a bustling empire reigned over these lands. Nowadays, all that remains of that ancient glory are crumbling ruins and the half-destroyed words of alien wisdom that are inscribed on the walls of unknown tombs. Oh dear. Your neighbour to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the stag lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. Alright, how did you earn the title of baron? Truth be told, my team and I would just happen to be in the right place at the right time. Jemand the Aldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. Varnling Host. Have you heard of us? Ah, no matter. We've done work for Jamandi before. This time, task was simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared it of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and land to own. It was a dream job. How do you feel about being a noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smirks. Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. He nods towards an arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that lad? Baron Drelev. He's not like us. Who knows what generation of Baron he is? Didn't even shake me hand. You and me were like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise he'll take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. It was nice meeting you. Farewell. Goodbye. Once you've settled in, come pay us a visit. I've already chatted with our friends. Just guards. Just guards. They're not, as in they're not named people with conversations. Chandra and Merve. Ah, yes, I see. Good old Restov hasn't changed a bit. Even the smell in the streets is the same. Natala Sotova. Natala Sotova is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary, sweet smile. You are not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Brevoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Brevoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Restov to honour you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. And what would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy, the noble houses. The Aldori won't dare to rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Brevoy avoid a civil war, while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her lowborn stepson, the green-skinned boy, Cassil. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Merve, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Brevoy's politics than any brawler could be. The old woman standing next to Natala gives you a slight bow. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Brevoy. Well, consider your proposal. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. So, Lander is the kind of middle. Yeah. Tell me once more what you want. Want to impose a stepson? Take me instead. Don't look at my age. While I may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword. He's from somewhere different. So he's the more neutral path. Whereas...
Tread lightly.
I don't know. Right, I'm thinking we're going to have to make this decision. Mingle with the guests. Apparently is done. Receiving the Baron's title. I think we've talked to everyone, haven't we? So Drelev's not particularly nice. Oh no, these are just where all my companions are. Oh, Jathel's now actually a companion. She wasn't before. Right, let's think about this. I don't want to make a decision yet. But I don't... Because... Satova's right. This is going to lead to a civil war. If we side with Restov and the Aldori, then there's going to be a civil war. And I think he's probably going to be better actual envoy. Whereas Chandra... Here's the thing. I think he's got the least... Castle Aldori has probably got the least claim to the whole thing. because he's... It's one faction of the lesser half of the country, whereas I think Chandra Merve is basically being told by the... I think, is she the queen or the daughter? How do I find out? Oh, is it in the journal? Ah, right. No, this is not. No. How do I find other characters? This is not helpful. Oh, there she is. We'll let her get. We'll level her up in a moment. How do I find any like? No. No. I don't think. That's annoying. I don't think I can find anything. So we'll think about. So actually, if I look. No, I want to know about you. Brevoy. Mysterious Testaments of House Regavia, which we already knew. Eldori, no, that's not helpful. What do you propose? Oh, that's the same thing again. I can't look at her name anymore. That's annoying. So, I'm leaning now towards Lander. Because I was wondering if he was the more noble side, but I think he's the independent, isn't he? Because he says he's not from round here. Are you Restovic? I'm not. No, I'm not from round here. Tell me what you're doing here. I travel the country in secret without servants. Okay, yeah. No, Henry, what was that again? Let's actually read that. Oh, right. I never asked. I need to know Brevoy if I'm going to rule a part of it someday. So he's... Oh... So... Are you from Restovic? Oh no, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting. And he was invited... Okay, so he was invited by the Lord Mayor, and the Lord Mayor is pro-independence of the... kind of... whatever the areas are. It's Isir and begins with an R. There's so many things beginning with an R, it's complicated. So he gets on with Selenius, with the kind of independent side, but also the non-independent side, he might be the better play to try and, while we're trying to gauge what side to go on, because picking one of these might force us down a particular path, and without more information, I don't really want to go for it. Yosef Selenius, an older man with full sideburns, looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Jamandi. I turned up to a castle once. You pulled this all off quite cleverly. I confessed I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you. I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Eldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. So it would seem. I am Yosef Selenius, Lord Mayor of Restov, ally of Jamandi Eldori. And he is a friend of Lander, which I think is why I might want to go with them. He dispatched... Oh, right, so he was there at the beginning. Lord Mayor of Restov. Does it actually say? No. Rosland. That was it. Rosland. Issia and Rosland. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbour, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. Oh, you rule Restov. And what about the Eldori? Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here, in this part of Rosland... Yeah, conquered by Issia. The spirit of northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of his highness. King Naleski Sotova. It doesn't actually tell me what her relationship is. That's annoying. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. The Eldori Sword Lords used to rule Rosland. They're still the largest landowners and main military force in the region, but it's not for nothing that Restov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits. What kind of events are we talking about? Why, an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rogarvia. Can you imagine it? Old Man Coral conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It'd be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air, but once that exact thing happened, turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. And how are things in Restov? I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of the Rogarvians, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking of things. But those sort of rumours aren't worthy of your attention. It was nice meeting you. Please, wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and from what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organise and supply everything you need for the construction and spread out the cost on extremely favourable terms. For whom? I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favour. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov's Building Guild. Do we have a deal? So yeah, it's he gets priority, but I think I don't know how much that's going to cost to build off. But yeah, you know what? We'll go for it. Make sure we get the supplies. Then it's a deal. I'll get everything in order right away and schedule a delivery immediately. It was nice meeting you. The feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon. Today's a historic day for Restov, maybe for all Brevoy.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Kasil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Oh, I think Lander might be the better one to go with. I think he's young, and I don't know as a half-orc how good he would be as an envoy slash ambassador slash diplomat slash politician type role. I think young Lander will come with me.
Oh, the heir of House Lebeda. Naive enough to think no one would recognize him here. I wouldn't trust him. Who knows what he has in mind?
Okay, that's... Yeah, so it's like... Okay, so if I change that, can I change?
From what I understand, you've decided to take Lander Lebeda with you.
Okay. Controlling the plain significant portions of the lake shipping, they're considered to be the Brevik noble family that epitomizes Rossland, having a significant Taldan blood, an appreciation for fine things, and a love of sword fighting. Epitomizes Rossland. You want Rossland to be independent. This is probably better for you. Because he's more of an independent... He's closer to independent than Castle. Yes, that's my decision.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to pick Merve because that's signing me up to kind of be on the Issian side of the debate, and I don't think I will be. Right, let's go with it. Let's stick with him. It's making me second guess myself. Let's stick with him because I think he's the best of the three as an option.